At 30 years old, what did you finally understand?
That loneliness isn't something to endure, it's something to grow from.
Can I ask you something a little strange?
Go ahead.
When was the first time you were truly scared? I don't mean afraid of cockroaches or the dark.
You're right, that's not the scary part.
Then what is?
That feeling of, oh my God, what will happen to me if there's no one beside me to help when things get hard?
Wow, I thought I was the only one afraid of that.
You know, since we were kids, we were taught one thing: find a support system.
Exactly. At home, lean on parents. Growing up, lean on friends.
As adults, lean on your partner, your spouse, your career. This society worships connection. It fears the word alone like it fears ghosts.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong, it's just that no one told us the harsh truth.
What truth?
Any support system can collapse in a single note.
You're talking about the storm, aren't you?
Yeah. When the storm hits, maybe your boss says you're fired, maybe the person who swore forever turns their back, maybe it's a hospital paper with a deadly disease written on it.
That's when you turn around to find your support?
And find nothing but emptiness.
Did you come here today to teach me how to get through the storm?
No, I didn't come to teach you how to overcome the storm with fancy words.
Then why are you here?
I came to tell you a truth. Loneliness is not an opportunity. It's a sentence.
A sentence?
Yes, but within that very sentence, you will find the most powerful weapon of your life.
Can you explain that more clearly?
Imagine this. You are a tree. Your whole life you thought you were a tree in a forest.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. But then one day, the storm comes. It knocks down every tree around you. You look left, that tree is broken. You look right, that tree is uprooted.
That's when you realize you could fall at any moment, too.
Exactly. And you realize one more thing. No one can catch you because their hands are also gripping their own branches.
That's so cold, but it's true.
Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine.
Go ahead.
He lost his job on the exact same day his child was born.
Oh my God, no way.
Everyone knew. Everyone said, yeah, hang in there, it'll be okay. Then everyone went back to their own lives.
They didn't help more than that?
It's not that they didn't want to, it's just that everyone has their own storm. He sat in a dark room, listening to his wife cry, his baby cry, and the silence from his phone.
Silence from the phone. That line hurts so much.
No door opened. No one showed him the way. No one told him what to do or what to avoid. No one stood up to guide him.
So what did he do?
Something strange happened when he stopped knocking on doors. He started breaking through walls.
Breaking through walls?
He sat down, thought about his situation. He needed a different job to support his family, but that job required new skills, so he taught himself to code at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.?
Yes, and he delivered food to pay the hospital bills. He couldn't ask anyone for help anymore, so he had no choice but to be strong.
The will to survive.
Exactly. At that moment, the will to survive ruled his mind stronger than ever before.
I have a story too, but about the storm of love.
Tell me, I'm listening.
The storm of love is different. It's not loud, it's quiet, but deadly.
You once had someone you thought.
If I lose that person, I'll surely die. I really used to think that.
Then what happened?
Then one day, that person really left. I didn't die, I just wished I would.
What did you do?
The stupidest things you could possibly do. I held my phone waiting for a message. I scrolled Facebook looking for clues. I imagined every possible scenario. They'd come back, someone new would appear, or at least a phone call to ask how I was doing.
And then?
And then, nothing. Silence. That was the only answer.
How did you get through it?
I had to do something incredibly painful. I had to pull out the thorn that was stuck in my heart myself, bandage myself, cry until I ran out of tears.
And then?
And then, one morning, I woke up, opened my eyes, and realized another new day had come. I didn't die. I suddenly understood something.
What?
The death I feared the most was just the departure of someone who no longer belonged to me, and I was stubbornly holding on to something that was no longer mine.
I have another story, but this one isn't easy to hear.
I'm ready.
About a woman. She was diagnosed with a malignant tumor.
Oh my God.
This is the cruelest storm of all, because it attacks your own body. Her loved ones came to visit. They said, "Stay strong. You'll be fine. I'm here for you."
Then what?
Then they went home. She lay in the hospital bed. The TV screen went silent at midnight. The heart monitor beeped. Tick. Tock.
At that moment, no one was beside her.
No one. She told me there were times she wanted to let go.
But she didn't.
No. She looked up at the ceiling and thought, if I don't breathe on my own, no one can breathe for me.
So what did she do?
She researched treatment plans herself, called taxis to go to radiation therapy herself, wrote a journal to keep her spirits up herself.
That absolute loneliness, that's what forged her strength.
Yes, a kind of strength no doctor could prescribe. The strength of acceptance and fighting.
Not because the disease was easy to treat.
No, because in the most desperate circumstances, persevering and moving forward is the only choice for survival.
You know, after all those stories, I suddenly understood something.
What?
When you get through the storm by yourself, you realize that you don't need to rely on anyone. You can become your own sun.
You're right. But do you understand what the sun really means?
Something noble and lofty?
No, the sun isn't something noble. The sun is a ball of fire. It burns itself to shine.
And we're the same?
You're the same. You want to become the sun? You have to accept the law. Burn away the ruins of your past yourself. Endure the heat of loneliness yourself.
And rise every morning yourself, even if yesterday you sat in tears.
Now you understand. Becoming the sun doesn't mean you'll never be weak.
Then what does it mean?
It means you no longer go begging for fire from other people. Look back. When you were weak, you begged for a text, a call, a compliment. You were like a shadow. You only existed when someone else's light shone on you.
But after the storm, I am the light source.
You don't need anyone to light you anymore. You shine on your own. You are warm. And here's the miracle. When you become the sun, you can warm others without needing anything in return.
I love this line. The sun never asks permission to rise.
Think about that. Have you ever asked anyone for permission to be happy? Have you ever waited for someone to allow you to be strong?
I have, so many times.
After the storm, you won't do that anymore. You will rise, simply because that is your nature.
But wait, I don't want to advocate for isolation. Love, family, friends, they're all precious.
I'm not telling you to reject help either, but I want you to remember one thing.
What?
In the darkest moment, when every door has slammed shut, it's just you and the darkness.
And if I can light a fire in that moment,
you will never be afraid of the dark again. If this story touched your heart,
leave a sign for us. Comment the word sun below.
Like this video if you've ever been through a storm alone.
And subscribe so you don't miss the next stories.
Thank you for staying until this very moment.
Thank you for choosing to rise every single day.
See you in the next story.